So 3, 31, 24, 25. I'll just quickly read through. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Patito bhuvi asrin mishra. Vishta bhur iva cheshtate. Roru yati gate jnane. Viparitam gatim gataha. Patito bhuvi asrin mishra. Vishta bhur iva cheshtate. Roru yati gate jnane. Viparitam gatim gataha. Translation. Sorry, word to word. Patitaha, fallen. Bhuvi, on the earth. Asrik, with blood. Mishra, smeared. Vishta bhu, a worm. Eva, like. Cheshtate, he moves his limbs. Roru yati, cries loudly. Gate, being lost. Jnane, his wisdom. Viparitam, the opposite. Gatim, state. Gataha, gone to. Translation. The child thus falls on the ground, smeared with stool and blood, and plays just like a worm germinated from the stool. He loses his superior knowledge and cries under the spell of Maya. So I'll just read the next verse through. Parachandam na vedusha pushyamano janena saha anabhipretam apanna pratyakhyatum anishwaraha. So you can recite words. Parat Parachandam na vidusha पुष्यमानो जनेन सह अनभिप्रेतम् आपन्ना प्रत्याख्यातुम् अनीश्वरः. Parachandam, the desire of another. Na, not. Vidusha, understanding. Pushyamanaha, being maintained. Janena, by persons. Saha, he. Anabhipretam, into undesirable circumstances. Apanna, fallen. Pratyakhyatum, to refuse. Anishwaraha, unable. Translation. After coming out of the abdomen, the child is given to the care of persons who are unable to understand what he wants, and thus he is nursed by such persons. Unable to refuse whatever is given to him, he falls into undesirable circumstances. Purport by Jaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Divine Grace, His Bhaktan Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Within the abdomen of the mother, the nourishment of the child was being carried on by nature's own arrangement. The atmosphere within the abdomen was not at all pleasing, but as far as the child's feeding was concerned, it was being properly done by the laws of nature. But upon coming out of the abdomen, the child falls into a different atmosphere. He wants to eat one thing, but something else is given to him because no one knows his actual demand and he cannot refuse the undesirables given to him. Sometimes the child cries for the mother's breast, but because the nurse thinks that it is due to pain that within his stomach that he is crying, she supplies him some bitter medicine. The child does not want it, but he cannot refuse it. He is put in very awkward circumstances and the suffering continues. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम् ग्रंथे आरंभे करी मंगलाचरण गुरु वैष्णव भगवान तीनेर स्मरण. So Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami prays in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita that in the beginning of this grantha I am invoking the blessings of Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan. So then he says that तीनेर स्मरण होय विघ्न विनाशन अनायासे होय निजवांचित पुराण. So by invoking the blessings of Guru, Vaishnav and Bhagavan, then all the inauspicious things are actually destroyed and it invokes all auspiciousness. So Srimad Bhagavatam is actually the stories of the spiritual world, the stories of the spiritual reality. Srimad Bhagavatam is the incarnation of the Lord, is the form of the Lord that very mercifully Krishna left behind for us to relish this Bhagavatam. This Bhagavatam can be relished by persons who are free from envy. By free from envy, Krishna also tells to Arjun that, my dear Arjun, I am giving you this Raja Guhya, this topmost of secrets, only because of the fact that you are my dearmost friend, and because you are completely free from envy. So we sing in the Guru Puja every day that it's very important that Ebe Yash Gushuk Tribhuvan. What is the meaning of that? Meaning is that my eternal aspiration is that, my dear spiritual master, your fame be spread all over the three worlds. So, Krishna consciousness starts with Guru consciousness, Vaishnav consciousness. So, Krishna is a Bhakta Vatsal. He is the protector of his dear devotee. So, a real devotee, completely surrendered devotee, he is that person who actually experienced this point that Krishna is his protector. And Krishna's greatest protection, the Lord's greatest protection, is actually protecting us by giving us the higher taste. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishta nivartate. So just as intoxicated person, uh, everywhere he sees only liquor. Uh, he sees, where is liquor, where is liquor, where is liquor, where can I drink liquor? So in the same way, one who is actually a devotee, he sees, uh, he feels the higher taste of Krishna consciousness, or he constantly seeks for that. And yam labdva chapare labam manyate nadikam tataha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that having achieved that, having made even a little progress in obtaining this higher taste, he thinks, a devotee thinks, that there is no greater gain than that. His Holiness Ranath Maharaj says that every time you're passing the test, you're coming closer to Krishna. When I saw that, I became so inspired that I'm coming closer to Krishna. See, this is the power of a pure devotee's words. We immediately put unflinching faith, and we've become so astonished and become so charmed and become so enthusiastic when we hear, wow, I'm coming closer to Krishna. Wow, so amazing. So the point is, I'm not a devotee. I'm not anywhere near a devotee. Nowadays, I'm feeling like, I'm starting, I'm trying to start my spiritual life, because a real devotee is one, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, is actually a person who chants Shuddha Naam, who chants the pure name. So, uh, anyhow, so I need all of your blessings. And the fact is that you are all speaking and you're all hearing. I am just a mouthpiece. So I have no credit, I have no qualification to speak Bhagavatam, because I am full of envy, I'm full of all the impurities. And yeah, what can I expect? But at the same time, we should speak Bhagavatam. We should chant the holy name. We should do kirtan. Why? Because Vishnu Chakri Thakur says, in the commentary to the first verse of Nectar of Instruction, that when a sincere disciple hears from the Guru and repeats what he hears with a submissive mood, then the Guru's potency echoes through the disciple. Hmm. So that is a real thing. So we are simply assisting Srila Prabhupada. And that's why we should take this opportunity. So, coming back to the verse, so yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing. Yesterday, I read something very, very encouraging. See, this is how Shastra really reciprocates with us. So yesterday, I was sleeping. I slept really late because, of course, we went to main set, came back, it was very late. So I just thought that, I didn't read anything yesterday. So let me just randomly, let me just open verse of Bhagavatam and read something. And what I found was astonishing. So this is a random verse I opened, and there actually King Rahugan is praising Jad Bharat. that by Jad Bharat's mercy, I became free from the bodily concept of life. And how I became free? Because let me read that exact translation. It's very, very encouraging actually. It's amazing. And it's very relevant also to us. It's practical also. After receiving lessons from the great devotee Jad Bharat, King Raghugan of the state of Suvir became completely aware of the constitutional position of the soul. He thus gave up the bodily conception completely. Right? This is amazing. He gave up the bodily. Now, this next line is gold. My dear king, whoever takes shelter of the servant of the Lord is certainly glorified because he can without difficulty give up the bodily conception. So this is gold. So one who takes the servant of servant mood can without difficulty give up bodily conception. So this mood of being the servant of the servant is the essence of devotion. And that's where our focus can be or should be. So this is a very motivating. And also I read something recently also by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is explaining about how Lord Chaitanya went into a deep ecstasy as he was feeling the separation from Krishna in the mood of Radharani. And Prabhupada speaks about uh, the the philosophy of Divyonmad. Mm. This is a highest stage of prema. There is that um, Ruda, Adiruda, uh, Modanakya and Madanakya. Madanakya Mahabhava is the highest separation mood of, level of prem experienced by none other than Srimati Radharani herself. Um, um, so that Prabhupada is saying that only very advanced devotees can understand this. But Prabhupada says in that purport, very encouragingly, Prabhupada says that we should try to understand. And then Prabhupada quotes a very nice verse from Kaviraj Goswami saying that, uh, my dear readers, simply hear this narration with faith. Just keep hearing again and again. If you do this, what will happen? Then you will experience and very easily you'll attain love of Godhead. Mhm. So it's Krishna consciousness is very, very encouraging. It's not a depressing process, uh, but it's a very encouraging process. So we should be very encouraged and we should be very um, enlivened by this process. I wish I had saved it, but somehow it's not saved. But it's a very wonderful verse by CC that just by hearing with faith and love, eventually you will attain love of God. Not only attain love of God, you'll attain love of God very easily. And that's why I humbly request everyone. Yes, we're discussing Bhagavatam. It's very wonderful. But the practical application of Bhagavatam, practical essence of all Shastra is Chaitanya Charitamrita. So whether you may understand, you may not understand, it doesn't matter. But just by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will attain the highest perfection. Prabhupada gave his benediction again and again. Just by reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, hearing, you will understand everything. There is benediction. By hearing Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, what happened? By hearing again and again, you realize, not attain, you realize the pastimes of Krishna. And then if you continue hearing, what is the further benediction? You will actually understand the intimate mellow going on between Krishna and the gopis. So, I mean, just by reading, just by hearing, this is a benediction. So, we should not let ourselves lose this benediction. So, anyway, so just some things. So, having said that, these two verses are speaking about the helpless condition of a child. So, a child loses the superior knowledge and cries under the spell of Maya. So this crying under the spell of Maya is a very, very important point. See, there are different types of crying we can do for Krishna. One type of crying is crying because we want something material. Like you lose something, like someone, got some serious problem, health problem, that kind of crying is there. And then there's another type of crying, is what Sachinandan Maharaj explains. There's another kind of crying where you cry because you're practicing bhakti, but you're distressed in your spiritual life. You're crying to Krishna to destroy your anarthas. But then the highest level of crying, he says, is crying um, because of um, Krishna's feeling. Like Prabhupada gives the example of this, the highest stage of crying he gives in Bhagavatam, if you read. That's why I request everyone, please make notes when you read Bhagavatam, because like so many gems and so much nectar is there. If you don't collect it, then if you want to reflect or if you want to even share it, you cannot. So create a word. Google Notes is best. Just create a Google account is a good idea. Create a Google account just for this purpose. Open Google Docs, and as you're reading, just copy and paste whatever you find, because it's real nectar. It's really amazing. So yeah, coming back to the point that there are different types of crying. Prabhupada mentions the highest level of crying is example of gopis. Now, Prabhupada gives the example that Krishna goes to the forest and the gopis meditate on how Krishna's lotus feet are being pricked by the pebbles. And just thinking of that, they cry again and again. Prabhupada says this is the highest level of crying. So this is crying for Krishna's pleasure. Crying for Krishna's pleasure. This is the highest level of crying. Right? So the point is that after coming to bhakti, we have to aspire, we have to practice high level of crying. At least we can practice this level of crying that, my Lord, uh, please allow me to develop love for you. This is very important thing, because the problem is many times in our devotional service, we do devotion as a formality, or we do devotion even sometimes just for the sake of becoming free from a material world. Uh, this is very, very catchy or very kind of dangerous thing, because why? Uh, you see, there is Nam, Aparad, Nam, Abhas, and Shuddha. So, what happens in Nam Aparad stage? What is Namaparad stage? Namaparad stage means that you're doing bhakti, but you're not conscious of aparad. You're chanting the holy name, you're not conscious of what you're doing. So you're doing an unconscious devotional service. So this can happen anywhere, right? It's very easy for us to become unconscious, right? Because we deal with matter. So the problem with this is doing this kind of bhakti, they're doing unconsciously. I mean, I'm myself a victim of that. Is what is you get opportunities for name, fame, prestige. These kind of things, Dhanam, Dhanam, Sundari, will come after you. Devotees will start praising you. So many things. Asat Trishna will start attacking you. So this is the danger of performing unconscious devotional service. Right? So if we don't forcefully cultivate this crying to the Lord, to especially Gaur Nitai, that we can develop love, we can develop affection, attachment, especially Guru and Gaur Nitai. Because crying for Krishna, crying for Radharani is a little high thing. And of course, we can definitely feel something, but um, we start our bhakti by becoming attached to Guru and Gaur Nitai. So what happens when you cry uh, to Guru and Gaur Nitai for developing attachment towards them? What happens is that uh, you start becoming very grateful. Kritagyata, you become very grateful. You start realizing what they have done to you. And when this mood of gratitude comes in the heart, uh, and you become very grateful for what you're receiving, then what happens is now you are willing, you are open to extending yourself, doing the best you can to please them. And by doing this, as you make more and more sacrifice in bhakti, more and more, what happens? You develop attachment, practical attachment. See, same principle. Mother does so much sacrifice to the child. Maybe child does not care about mother, but mother developed a lot of attachment. Why? Because she did sacrifice, right? So when you do sacrifice in bhakti, you become very attached to uh, especially Guru and Gaur-Nita. You become very attached to mission of Srila Prabhupada. You start seeing this is my temple, this is a mission. It doesn't matter if nobody comes to Mangalarti. Doesn't matter whether when I'm singing Kirtan, whether someone is seeing it, doesn't matter. Uh, But what really matter is my offering to them, because they are very important in my life. Uh, You realize more and more at this point that Guru and Krishna, they are my only welfare. I have no other friend. I have Guru and Krishna, my only friend. Guru, Vaishnava, Krishna, my only friend. So you develop a deep attachment. So when you develop deep attachment toward them, then what happens? You depend on them. Then their qualities will transfer to you. I mean, this is, I'm just quoting from pure devotees of the Lord. So the attachment become transferred to you. Sorry, the qualities start transferring to you. So Guru and Vaishnav have many wonderful quality. Actually, the goal of our spiritual life is to get that quality. So their quality become transferred to you because you're very attached to them, because you love them, because you feel indebted to them. The word indebted is very important. Gratitude, yesterday I was hearing His Holiness Haladar Maharaj was saying, the problem with the word gratitude in this world is that gratitude has a kind of temporary connotation. Like you give someone a glass of water, thank you, which means after the glass is over, after he sees you, he forgets. But indebted means you never forget. That's why Janme Janme Prabhu say means life after life, I'm eternally indebted. I'm eternally indebted. Right. So like when I first came to Bhakti, one devotee used to share this prayer. I don't know where I got this prayer. That, oh Krishna, oh Srila Prabhupada, oh Srimati Radharani, please steal my heart and never give it back to me. So, this kind of prayer, please steal my heart. I don't want my heart to be stolen by the objects of this world. I want you to steal. Huh? And please never give it back to me, because if you give it back to me, then I'm going to again invest it in this material world. So this is very powerful, very powerful. Just like best example, Pratap Rudra Maharaj. Pratap Rudra Maharaj, he was crying. Why? He was crying because he wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya. He was wanted dying to serve Lord Chaitanya. Actually, he was not interested in seeing Lord Chaitanya. Actually, he wanted to serve Lord Chaitanya. So what happened? After crying, he started making sacrifices. He started making sacrifice for the pleasure of Lord Chaitanya. He, he gave Ramananda Roy full pension. I'm sure it's not very easy for any person to do that, but he made that sacrifice. Probably he took it on himself. Right? So he made sacrifice, and as a result of making sacrifice, what happened? He developed very deep attachment to Ramananda Roy, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And result of that, what happened? Because he developed very deep attachment to them, their quality became transferred to him. Their quality. And because the quality became transferred to him, Lord Chaitanya became very attracted to those Vaishnava qualities. And eventually, because of those qualities, he developed such a kind of bhakti. Of course, who is Ramananda Roy is Vishakha. So he developed such a kind of quality in bhakti that he had the adhikar to, because adhikar is what we want in bhakti. He got the adhikar to sing Gopi Geet in front of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya, after he sang Gopi Geet also, Lord Chaitanya blessed him in a very special way. Very special way. So he gave him the blessing that you will be that person. Lord Chaitanya said that such a person who spreads the nectar of Krishna's glories is indeed most munificent. But I should remember one point, that whenever Lord Chaitanya gives a blessing in this way, speaking about such a person, uh, then Lord Chaitanya is actually bestowing that same benediction upon Maharaj Prataparudra. So very special blessing. Why it all started with his intense desire to serve. He was crying to serve, he was dying to serve. Uh, so we should constantly practice this kind of crying. This kind of crying is very good. That's why what does Srila Prabhupada say? Chanting Hare Krishna means, oh my Lord, how may I serve you? This is the best meditation. Because if we become completely absorbed in seva, then we will never enjoy our own devotion. I mean, even speaking for myself, sometimes, you know, it's not good, but it's the nature of, the pride and, envy that or we tend to enjoy our own devotion. Oh, I sang so nicely. Oh, I did so nicely. Thought comes in the mind, right? So that means what? It means it's finished, rejected. Think about this. I think of myself, think to myself again and again. Suppose you eat something and we are conditioned soul, not liberated soul. You eat something and you give to Krishna. Will Krishna eat? Definitely not, right? Because Krishna only interacts with, pure spiritual bodies. So in the same way, suppose you're doing a kirtan, you're giving a class, and you are enjoying your class. Means what? Means Krishna will not enjoy. Definitely. So, I mean, I'm not trying to depress anyone. I myself am going through this, but this is a fact. This is a fact. So that's why if we become completely absorbed in seva, that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, Naam seva. So if we become completely absorbed in seva always, then we can come out of this tendency to enjoy our bhakti. Enjoy our bhakti. So yeah, this seva mood is very important. That's why you should cry for seva. How may I serve? Oh my dear Lord, please use me. I am yours. I am yours. Please use me. I have no plan. I have no project. I am just 100% yours. Please use me. Please use me. So the more and more we pray, we invite Krishna. Please use me. Please take away my independence. I don't want any independence in this world. I have already been suffering for so many lives because of this independence. But please take away my independence and use me. Use me. This is a very nice prayer. So this kind of crying is very good. Uh, uh, and this will come by associating with those who have such a mood. So if we are very eager to develop such a mood, the Krishna will arrange such kind of association for us, so that we can develop this mood. And then the next verse, after speaking about the crying of the child, Prabhupada is, I mean, Bhagavatam is saying that how nobody understand what the child wants. This is a very important concept also. We should understand that actually nobody understand what I need, first of all. So we are not interested in what we want, because what we want is of course a product of the modes of material nature, but what we need is very important. So only person who know what we need is actually Guru and Krishna. They know what we need. So we need to develop more and more faith in them. We need to develop more and more faith in them. Uh, His Grace Prabhu was telling about that pastime of Christ when I forgot the name of the person. So he denied, acknowledged that he was a follower of Christ, he would have been killed. So what he did, he denied it. So that is, I mean, faith. Of course, I'm not saying you will be tested to that level, but that is faith. That is faith, right? So when we have to develop that kind of faith that Guru and Krishna are my only protector, we have to develop. See, what was Prabhupada's ultimate standard of Guru Bhakti? Prabhupada said, ultimate standard of Guru Bhakti, Prabhupada spoke about our GBC and also other devotees similar, that they can slit my throat for me, I can slit my throat for them. So this is a standard of Guru Bhakti. We need to, because if we don't develop this kind of like mad attachment to the lotus feet of Guru, then it's impossible to enter Vrindavan, because you have to become like insanely fanatically attached to Krishna's service if you want to enter Vrindavan. Like a lot of devotees in Vrindavan, eternal associates in Vrindavan, like they're like way down in the line. And the direct reciprocation of the divine couple, of course, it is there, it is definitely there, but at the same time, their mood is not to um, um, be, always in the front, but their mood is to serve in the background. So if you want to go there, you have to become addicted to seva. You have to become addicted to seva. So you cannot become addicted to seva unless you associate with someone who's addicted to seva. Who is addicted to seva? Guru, Guru, Vaishnava. So we have to get that quality from Guru and Vaishnava. We have to get that, it's called mamatva, that oneness of heart. So when we develop a lot of attachment to Guru and Krishna, their desire, their way to serve Krishna, their desire will become reflected in our heart. And actually, that is the goal. It's called Vishram Bhena Guru Seva. Real Guru Sevak is someone who is Vishram Bhena, means someone whose heart is one with Guru's heart. So we have to aspire for that. We have to aspire, we have to constantly pray. Because only Guru and Krishna, they know what we need. So this is what is going on in this material world. I don't have to go into details. That whatever is given to us, we cannot refuse, right? Like other situations, our family, sometimes even, in some unfortunate situations, even, uh, mm, one's family members, who is one's husband, who is one's wife, or one's children, they are given to us, and we cannot, unfortunately, we can't change that. So the only thing that we can change, only thing that we have control over, is how much we take shelter of Guru and Krishna. So see, the thing is, if we don't adopt this principle of pure devotional service, then what happens is that we go into lamentation and hankering, right? So we go, lamentation is past and hankering is future. So we are always in the past and future, we're never in the present. We can never take advantage of the present, and therefore we cannot make advancement, right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, let the past sleep, future never dream at all. Live in thy present that art with thee, and progress we shall call. So this is the point, this is the point. So the atmosphere within this world is not pleasing, just as the atmosphere within the womb of the mother is not pleasing. But because of, the biggest problem is because of us not being attached to especially Guru and Acharyas. See, one is doing service, that's okay. But it's not just about doing service, it's not just about following relative principles, but it's about developing attachment to them. Right? That's a different thing. So we have to see Guru as like our family. Like Acharya is our family. So it's not like Prabhupada did something and no, this is my family. This is my Guru, which means what? Which means I have full responsibility. The mind, when you start cultivating this mood, the response, the mind works differently. This is my responsibility. It's like when a mother accepts a child, I mean, when she gives birth to a child, it is her child, right? So it's her responsibility. And she take great pride in that response. So we have to come to say we should be very proud. We should not feel shy, or I am part of ISKCON. I am doing this service. Why I'm doing this service? Yeah, I am doing to get purified. We go in front of family members, immediately we become very shy. No, we should be very proud, very proud. Like Saraswati Thakur said, that we should be very proud. So if you are very, proud of Guru's, being a servant of Guru, being the servant of the servant of the servant of servant of Guru. His Holiness Ranat Maharaj said that when he brought his father to see the deities, Radha Vrindavan Nath, he was so proud. I caught that, These are small things, if we catch, we can learn a lot actually. You're very proud. huh? Just think about it. In our condition, in my condition, if I were just restricted to worshipping deities every day, that's it, or cleaning the bathroom. Best is cleaning bathroom or worshipping deities. What I would think. See, I'm not doing any preaching. I'm not doing anything practical. Of course, this my false ego is speaking. But my point is that to feel that pride, to feel that gratitude, to feel that uh, happiness by being part of Guru's family, Guru's mission, that we have to feel. Then we can do bhajan, then we can advance in spiritual life. So, um, that's what, when we feel that, when we cultivate that deep attachment towards the spiritual masters, then we get mercy, then we get a real mercy. Is just coming to my mind, Shyamananda Pandit, right? He was sweeping, Dukhi Krishnadas, he was sweeping Seva Kunj. Every day he was sweeping. Why he was sweeping? He was sweeping for many years. He was so feeling so happy to sweep, feeling so proud to sweep. Why? Because Yoga Goswami told him to sweep. And what happened? We have not heard any pastime like that in the history of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, that Radharani personally, she, made a special tilak for him, gave him his spiritual body, and gave him a deity of the Lord, and asked him to, preach this process of Krishna consciousness. Radharani personally. This is so rare, right? And he became so powerful due to that mamatta, that strong attachment to Jiva Goswami's order, that when Lalita Devi asked him to give the bangle, he said, "No, I will not give." No. I mean, and finally he said, "You show me the other one first. Show me the other anklet. If I see it matches, then I'll give." Lalita Devi became angry. Still, he did not give. Then Lalita Devi had to personally take him to Radharani. So just see how powerful this attachment to Guru is. It's a very powerful, very powerful. I'll give another example of how powerful this you see, we don't realize it, but in the time of extreme difficulty, it comes out. One Mataji, she was serving, she was just simple Mataji, she was serving the deities. I think in Mayapur she was serving. That time they did not have a big temple. She was serving Radha Madhav, and the dacoits came. The dacoits came and they tried to attack the deities. What she did, because she's so attached to Prabhupada, see, this is what happens when someone is too much attached to Guru, then this is how Guru's mercy works. She became so attached to Prabhupada in that time because of so much attachment to Prabhupada, and that translated to that intense, that mad, that insane attachment to Krishna. Without thinking, she put her body between the gun and the deity, and she took the bullets. I mean, she survived, of course, but then Prabhupada said, because you did this, just because you did this one thing, Krishna will drag you back to Godhead. At any cost, Krishna will do it. So this is the power of attachment. The power is very powerful. Very powerful. That's why these gurus and in our society, they have not got this kind of realization, this kind of advancement cheaply. But it's because of their intense attachment. Intense attachment. And they're also willing, they have no problem that after this life also to continue this preaching. They have no problem. They are not like desperate, I need to go back to God, I need to go. No, they're not like that. Why? Because they got this mood. This highest aspect of Shikshashtakam, Ashlishava Padaratam, comes in the heart, has come to them. I mean, I'm not qualified to speak, just because of their intense attachment to Guru. Intense. My guru is, there is nobody like my guru, and I can do anything for my guru. There is no one like my guru. I will not let anyone um, occupy my heart's position. uh, I mean, occupy that position of my guru in my heart, of Prabhupada in my heart, Vaishnava in my heart, right? So that is the thing. So His Holiness Haladhar Maharaj says, when you develop that kind of mood, then Krishna will forgive any offense you do. Because why? Because you have that, what is that? This very wonderful Atma Niveda. Ami to tomar, tumi to amar. Ki kaja apar. I forgot the next one, but he's saying that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, I am yours, you are mine. What is the need for anything else? What is the need for any other wealth in my life? So, this is the way we can develop adhikar in bhakti, because we are here every day. We are doing to develop adhikar, develop qualification. This is the way we develop qualification, by this intense attachment. That's why Raghunath Goswami says, what is that? Atitaram Kuru. He says, make intense endeavor for what? For attaining first is Guru. Develop unprecedented attachment. Unprecedented. That is the key in bhakti. That is the key in bhakti. And any successful devotee, my revered spiritual master says, it is because any devotee is successful in their spiritual life is because of their intense attachment to their spiritual master. There is no other reason. Their intense attachment to Guru means, of course, Guru and Guru's associates and acharyas, right? So when you develop intense attachment to Guru, what happens? Guru will transfer, will that attachment to, Prabhupada, to Bhakti Thakur, to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we have to develop that intense attachment. So you develop intense attachment, you develop intense attachment to their service, and that's where we get the mercy. So many examples are there. I just gave some examples. I didn't speak much about the verse because I've been speaking about the verse for so many days, and I don't want to speak again negatively. This is the reality of life, and this is a dangerous predicament. But bhakti is a life of hope, is a life of optimism. So if we practice this, we can become very optimistic. That's what sadhu sangha means. First, you become attached to sadhu. First, you become attracted by sadhu. Then you can do his sangha. If you're not attracted, you don't like him, you don't have some affection for him, his words will never enter your heart. So this is the important thing. So we have to constantly pray for this kind of attachment. Like, Raghunath Goswami is saying, Rupa Goswami is left now. Now Radha Kund and Govardhan. Radha Kund, I can't remember, is like, has become like a tiger, something like this. And Govardhan has become like a python. Can we pray like this in front of the Lord? Say, but that's because of his intense attachment. Intense. So, of course, we should not imitate. We can follow, but we should follow his footstep. Follow his footstep. To develop that intense attachment. Then automatically Guru will give his heart, Guru will give his most precious thing, he'll transfer to our heart if we do that. Actually, we have no idea what is the position of Guru. We have no idea. His Holiness Ranath Maharaj says it takes one to know one. But we have no idea how powerful they are. His Holiness Haladhar Maharaj says again and again, Guru is even worshipful for Brahma, for Shiva. Why? Because they have a prem bhakti in their fingertips. If they want, they can give you prema right now. They are so powerful. They are so powerful. I'll end with this. Saraswati Thakur says, someone asked him that, why did you accept your Guru? He said, I had no option. If Gaurkishore Devaji Maharaj had been practicing devotional service for 23 hours, 59 minutes and 59 seconds, I could have thought to reject him. But I could not find a moment when he was not engaged in the service of Bhagavan. And then he said another very nice point, that he said that if I simply take the dust from the lotus feet of my Guru and sprinkle it, lakhs and lakhs of jivas will be delivered. So this is the standard of Guru Bhakti, the standard of attachment, to Guru and, Krishna, Guru and Gauranga. So I'd like to end here. Please forgive me, I spoke too strongly, but Yeah, you're all much better, far better than me. So, anyone has any question or comment?
Fantastic class, Prabhu. Again, talking about Guru Bhakti. Thank you so much for emphasizing that point, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Darshan Prabhupada. Prabhu, I have a question.
Hmm.
When you were mentioning, you said that to do something, we need to acquire adhikar. So, um, how, and again, we keep saying, I don't have the adhikar. How do we draw a line from, how do I understand adhikar? Is adhikar, when you say adhikar, it means mercy? Or is it different? Or
No, I
qualification?
speak about Adhikar Madhuri specifically here. I'm speaking about a level of absorption in bhakti. I'm not speaking about seva here. I mean, of course, seva Adhikar is there, but my humble, understanding is you can do a lot of you can dress Radha Govind Vallabh also, but for Radha Govind Vallabh to reveal their qualities, to reveal their pastimes in your heart. Of course, I'm very far from that, but that's a different thing. So that's the Adhikar we want. So for that, yeah, we just have to keep serving, we have to keep praying, and especially we have to focus on our deep attachment to Guru, not formally, not for the sake, but very deep attachment. Why? Because of his taste in the holy name, because of his taste in Guru Bhakti, because of his taste for Bhagavatam. This we must be, I mean, may come sometime, may not come, but we should be deeply attracted. That Saraswati Thakur says, whenever we see our Guru, we should have spontaneous kind of attraction. I mean, of course, not like a hero or kind of that kind of thing, but a genuine recognition that here is an eternal associate of the Lord. Here is I mean, and if you have experience, that's even better. But definitely you get experience for sure. 100% you get some experience. I guarantee. Because Prabhupada is there, Guru is there, they're not ordinary person. Like I'll just give an example. Few days ago, I was very disgusted with myself. I was like, what the hell am I doing? My japa was not, something was not good. I was not very, and then I was just casually in YouTube. I saw a video of Mahatma Prabhu. Mahatma Prabhu was, not even dressed in like proper Vaishnava. He was just jogging, he was going, he was speaking something. What he said? He said, being depressed does not please Guru and Krishna. It's not service, it's Maya. I was like shocked. I was like, this is a power of Guru. We had no idea how powerful they are. Like, they're so powerful. So, yeah.
So I have another question to then follow up to that. Then you also mentioned towards the end of the class, like close to the end, where the like how to you were just sharing how to pray, like in some form, like the Asleshava Padaritam verse, like those are, again, yes, they are the highest. Like this is my personal challenge and experience, that it is when I go, like that is a little extreme for me, where I'm at to pray for that, where I had situations where I had setbacks, and then I had to readjust myself. Okay, I'm not there. You know what? I'm prematurely asking or praying for where I'm not. Um, and at the same time,
If you don't mind, if I can just interrupt, I understand what you mean.
Yes.
Don't intellectually, don't try to too much, try to intellectually study yourself. This prayer is something now that will come spontaneously. It is not something that, because if you too much intellectually kind of uh, say, I'm not qualified, I'm not qualified, then you're blocking mercy actually. So what I'm trying to say is that it is there, it is the highest, but it is the most fundamental thing also, right? Because when we come to the lotus feet of Guru, how do we come? Right? We come that I am yours eternally, right? So probably that's a higher level, but it's the same concept. So what I mean to say is, it will happen. It will happen, and you don't have to too much intellectually study yourself. Otherwise, you will become unnecessarily, uh, confused and this, and And that's what Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness is not a mental adjustment. So you don't have to be too much mentally studying yourself. So yeah, it will come. It will come. Because see, it is not ours, it is Guru's mood. The Guru's mood is like that. So it will get reflected in our heart in course of time. We don't have to be too much worried. But yeah, we can be inspired. See, you have only $1. You can aspire for $1 million, no problem. In this material world, you aspire, nothing will happen. But in spiritual life, you aspire. See, you may not be able to perform that kind of bhakti, but acquire that kind of mood, anyone can acquire. It may not be, like on the level of proper disciples, but we can definitely cultivate that mood, right? So to whatever extent we can. Right? So love is not calculated, right? If love is not calculated by between mother and child, so why should we calculate love between us and Guru? So yeah, so you don't have to worry, but the point is to develop that intense affection, intense attachment. Try as much as we can, and Guru will help us.
Okay.
Krishna will help us. I know you're all much better than me, but I'm just speaking.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
Prabhuji, I had a question with respect to what you said at the last, Prabhuji. So we've heard that like the dust you mentioned that if the dust of my spiritual master were to fall on conditioned souls, then lakhs and lakhs of people could become pure devotees. Prabhuji, when I hear this, and also like when Prabhupada also gives the example of a fly on a king's lap. The fly is also taking the association of a king, but it's not useful. So how to reconcile both, Prabhu? And also we see even devotees who have taken shelter of pure devotees, they have fallen off from the path. So like even Prabhupada's disciples, or it could be anyone. So how to reconcile and at the same time not sentimental about it? Because sometimes when I think when a spiritual master is coming, I'm feeling like, should I invite them even to just take a glance, or is it worth it, or will they benefit only when they hear from them submissive, right? So how to approach this without being sentimental, but at the same time not ignoring shastric injunction, Prabhu?
Yeah, actually, so my humble understanding is that His Holiness Gauravan Maharaj says, Sasri Thakur also says that when you see a pure devotee, and if you are not you're not committed some offenses or you're not, then you feel like a kind of attraction, like best example in this world Acharyas give is between a boy and a girl. So you feel that attraction towards them, some level of attraction will be there. You feel that warmth, you feel that love. So that's the first point. So you don't have to, you may not feel that with everyone, but definitely we can respect everyone. Like we may not have the same feeling for all devotees, we can respect and we can serve them. Definitely that's very purifying for us. And the second part of the point is about the disciples falling away. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says there are two types of disciples, course we discussed, there are two types of shishyas. There's antarmukha and bahirmukha. Bahirmukha shishya or external disciple. There are three types of external disciples, or two types I'm trying to remember. The first is the sneha sihilita. Sneha sihilita means he just wants mundane affection from Guru. Like, oh, Guru Maharaj, made me ride in the car with him. Guru Maharaj smiled at me. Some mundane affection. He thinks Guru is a person to give mundane, some affection. Next is Guru Giri. Guru Giri means he wants to make a profession out of his Guru. Arey, don't you know whose disciple I am? So basically using Guru to actually get name and fame. And the third type of person he is a Vishayi, he is a sense gratifier, but he doesn't lament. So basically, he thinks Guru is a material person. He thinks I can do whatever sense gratification I want, and Guru will never come to know. So this is a Bahirmukha, external disciple. Antarmukha Shishya starts with someone who may be a Vishayi, but someone who tries. And then eventually, Kanishta, Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam. So the ultimate, of course, it starts from the devotee who laments, who tries his best to follow Guru's instructions, but ultimately the Uttam Shishya, as is demonstrated by his divine grace, is a person who actually is a pure devotee, who has attained Krishna prema. So only when we attain prem also can we actually know Guru fully. So the point is that if one has progressed to a certain level of Guru Bhakti, then he will, never, he will never fall down. Real Guru actually never fall down. Real Guru, right? Sent by Krishna and never fall down. Right? So yeah, so the thing is, we should go by Shastra. We should not go by example. You see, example, you become bewildered. But if you see Shastra, it's very clear. Very, very clear. The person that you put faith in, you understand, you feel the Krishna Shakti flowing through them. So there is no confusion, actually. Right. So until once reaches the stage of at least Ruchi is the beginning of Uttam Adhikar. So until one reaches that stage, if one takes up Guru's position, I mean, this is just for the sake of discussion. I mean, it's not to judge anyone, but for ourselves. Until one reaches stage of Ruchi is Shuddhanam stage, Uttam Adhikari stage, right? Until that stage, if one at any time becomes loose or becomes negligent, then he can fall down. But once one reaches that stage, then there's no question of fall down. That's why Prabhupada says very clearly in Nectar of Instruction. What Prabhupada says, one should be very careful to accept only an Uttam Adhikari as a spiritual master. So that's the point. So we should not judge those who fell down. They did great service. It's none of our business. In Vaishnav society, it's not a business of a junior to judge a senior. It just causes disturbance. So it's not our business to judge them. But we have to follow the Shastra, that we have to cry to Krishna, cry to Prabhupada for Guru, and they will not cheat us. If we are very sincere, will not be cheated. I hope that answers the question.
Sure, Prabhuji. I was just just to close the loop on this, Prabhu, but I was thinking of examples where, I mean, I know you said not to look at examples, Prabhuji, but from like our Vedic history, how someone who has just merely by the glance changed Prabhu, like for example, even if we take Mrigari or someone very fallen like Valmiki, Ratnakar, they all kind of seem to have changed because they took the instruction of the spiritual master as their heart and soul.
Yes.
Like, is there example where just the Charana Renu has, I mean, I'm not doubting it, Prabhuji, but I'm just trying to understand, like, where but the glance is actually, you should understand it like the glance is actually.
Yes, I have an example of Srila Prabhupada. One time, on Prabhupada, I quoted this also, Prabhupada was actually drinking water. And one person, he caught Prabhupada's glance as he was drinking water. His life changed. He joined full time, dedicated his life to Srila Prabhupada. Right. So what can be better example than this? I mean, there's so many examples. If you read Prabhupada past, there are so many examples. With our current gurus also it is there, but the only problem is because of familiarity. You see, in proper disciples, yes, Prabhupada gave them a lot of mercy, incredible amount of mercy. But at the same time, what was their dedication? What was their reciprocation to Prabhupada's mercy? Every time Prabhupada would come, they would paint the temple. Anything Prabhupada said, they will go mad to do it. Like Prabhupada says, Chaitanya Charitamrita printing. Prabhupada is like really adamant. like almost like a small child asking for a toy. Prabhupada so adamant, and they were like, okay. And Devamrit Maharaj says, all Devamrit Maharaj says he did not sleep for months. You know, the way he would sleep is he would work on it. He would, like, let me see. So that is the thing. So they also were super dedicated, super surrendered. Not like, oh, whatever, Guru is cheap, So as always, Devamrit Maharaj says nowadays, disciple is like this. Hi, Gurudev. Bye, Gurudev. So, I'm just quoting him. So the thing is, we should, Guru, Diksha and Shiksha Guru and Vaishnav, biggest problem is familiarity. We take them very cheaply. So then, even if they are super exalted, we're not able to get that mercy. But yes, that glance is there. The glance is very powerful. Very
Sure.
powerful.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
For you guys, want to say something?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai.
Is there
Jai
time?
Sham Kishore Prabhu ki jai.
You can, Mataji, you can text me privately. I think it's already very late.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
please forgive me if I spoke anything wrong, inappropriate. I have no Guru Bhakti. I have nothing. I am a beggar. But I beg for all of your mercy on me. Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.